Shalom, I'm Alex the Radical. Welcome to a radical review of skateboard technology. Today we're talking about 4M skateboards. Now this is a very unique skateboard I heard about years ago in a magazine, and I want to do an extensive video talking about it today. So essentially 4M skateboards make skateboard decks with a replaceable nose and tail tip technology. They patented this in Sweden, but they actually restructured and now they focus their market in Brazil. This is what the tip looks like. So essentially the idea behind this is that it's going to prevent razor tail on your deck. That's definitely one of the aspects of skateboarding that always affects your pop. When it comes to popping ollies or doing any kind of tricks over time, this area tends to wear down the quickest and will affect how the board functions over time. Now, when it comes to your deck and your use, sometimes what happens is that your deck will fly out and hit like a wall, and this whole nose and tail area will chip. So this is supposed to solve that problem by having an option to replace it. So I heard about this years ago as a young kid, and I decided to kind of do some more digging because I saw a video by Rad Video talking about it. And so I found out that this company actually is focused their market in Brazil. And so I reached out to their Instagram, started following them, and I was like, hey, I'd be interested in like checking out one of your decks. I really want to get one. So they arranged it, we figured it out, and so now I have this deck to be able to skate. So I set this up at the probably like halfway in July, and so I've been skating this for about a month and a half now, and I really like it. It is an 8.25 with about a 14-inch wheelbase. Right now I'm skating with slappy trucks and dragon wheels, and so far it's been pretty good. When it comes to the shape of this deck, it kind of feels like a twin tail shape, maybe similar to a Santa Cruz, because that's what I was skating in the past, but I really do like the shape of it. When it comes to grinding and sliding, it's pretty good. It still has that wear and tear, but it's still lasting me a pretty long time right now. And what I'm gonna do in the future is that once it wears out, I'm gonna replace it with this tip essentially. What I've done though is I've added a little bit of rubber grip tape, but in my experience of using this deck, it didn't even matter because even though I formatted it so that the grip would stay right here, it still came off. Like my tail still has some of that rubber grip, but it's starting to come off even though I actually put super glue. So essentially this deck has its strong points where it's not going to chip every time it hits like a wall, and I think that's great because it means that the shape of this deck is going to last a little bit longer than a traditional 7-ply maple skateboard. But so far I really like it. I don't really have any issues with it. I think what would be an improvement maybe if they had some sort of I don't know, maybe technology where it's like VX or some sort of carbon fiber to make it a little bit stronger. So far it's been pretty good so far, but you know what? You can't go wrong with traditional maple, and so this deck has been pretty fun to skate. My setup right now is very unique in that way, and so I just wanted to be able to show you guys that, but here's some footage of me skating at the Waterloo skate park. So this is an experience. So the board has cracked in this area, and that's ironically what this razor. So the board is cracked. You can see here that it's actually split. It's because it razor tailed here and got hollowed out, but it's still on the rest of the deck. As you can see, that's what it looks like underneath. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna use this side to skate and then see if I can get this front side flip. All right, now that we're done with the skate chest, let's actually look at the tip itself. So as you can see here, it has broke off from the actual tip. It's not too thick, as you can see here, when it comes to actually covering the deck. There is a little bit of breakage in there, but other than that, it's okay because I have this replaceable tip that I can just do it with. So essentially what I'm going to do is try to use a Phillips screwdriver, take it out and just replace it, and then I can basically just keep skating this deck as is and just see where it goes. So let's just try to take it apart. Here is the process of replacing the broken tip with the spare one that you're given. So essentially you're going to get your Phillips or whatever tool that you have, and you're going to basically just screw it out. And I haven't done this before, so essentially what I'm guessing is that I can kind of just pop it off and I should be able to just get it out of place and then just switch it with the other deck. And it's not that, hopefully it won't be too long of a process, but as you can see, it's pretty simple. Literally just screw out the nuts here. What I'm doing is I'm pushing from the bottom so that I'm able to get it up a little bit quicker. Now, in theory, it should just pop off. Let's just see. Okay, so now we've removed the other ends as well. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get this off. This is probably going to be the trickiest part, if you're honest. I'm going to see if I can pop it out this way. There we go. So I popped out both ends of the screw that attach, and just like that, boom. So that's what it looks like. And here is the part that broke off. Now, mind you, I've been skating this deck for about a month and a half, so I know this is bound to happen. Ironically, this does razor tail, but again, the idea is that you can just replace it. So this is what I've done. I have the replaceable tip, and I'm basically just gonna put this on, and it should just function as is. Now, like I said, you can definitely follow these guys on Instagram. Their Instagram is 4M Skateboarding. They basically have a team that's in Brazil, and so you'll see a lot of the Brazilian skaters out there. And, okay. All right, let's just check it. So it slides in. It's pretty flush in that sense on both ends. So I'm just gonna put in the top part here, and then that should just stay. Let's see if I think the one end is actually, this one's flush for sure. And then this side to be flush with the rest of the deck. Oh my gosh. I think that's the only gripe about pushing this back in, is just making sure that it actually is flush with the deck. Yeah, that kind of helped. Let's just see here. Okay, there we go. So now I popped it in, and now essentially I'm just going to screw it in from this side. And this is what I was really excited about using this skateboard deck, because this is definitely one of the few factors that can hinder you in your progression of skating if you have a deck for a period of time and your deck isn't exactly new anymore. Let's make sure it's good here. Just gotta make sure this is flush. So what I'm doing now is I'm just basically pushing on the other end to make sure it's good, and that's it. So now I have replaced the deck and it has the regular pop. So let's just see how it skates now. So I'm basically just gonna skate it as is. Alright, so now that we skated this new deck, what are the final thoughts? Basically, skates regular. I'm pretty hyped on the way that this came out, and it's very easy to put on, which is great. I don't know, again, if this is going to take off, but I think it's a really cool technology.
technology, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So